Ontario, hardworking families are losing their jobs. But instead of working with the province, this finance minister continues to criticize Ontario even today. This is the same minister who gave Ontario Walkerton, wanted to jail the homeless, and left a $5.5 billion deficit.
Shame.
When will this finance minister stop damaging Ontario's economy with his petty grudges?
Order. The Honourable Minister of Finance. Order.
Let me begin, Mr. Speaker, by thanking the member for Willowdale for her friendly opening question in the House. And I welcome to the House, and I hope it'll become more congenial over time. You know, Mr. Speaker, the Liberals don't believe themselves. Here's what the Leader of the Opposition says about lowering taxes, which is what this is about in Ontario. He says a lower corporate tax rate is a powerful weapon to generate more investment, higher living standards, and better jobs. Liberals need to start listening to themselves, Mr. Speaker.
Order. The Honourable Member for Willowdale.
Monsieur le Président.
Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Finance is not credible. If the Ontario budget had been in a deficit, the Minister of Finance is the last person who should be asked for advice. When will the Prime Minister tell him to have his minister show some restraint, the Honourable Minister of Finance?
Well, I trust, Mr. Speaker, that the member for Willowdale will join the other Liberals who have supported our budget, who have supported our business tax reductions of historic proportions in the Government of Canada. And I hope the Liberals will listen to one of the newest Liberals, the member for Toronto Centre, who said government needs to keep a vigilant eye on corporate taxes to ensure they are globally competitive with key jurisdictions so that investment in Canada is encouraged. As I say, Mr. Speaker, Liberals need to listen to themselves.
Mr. Speaker, after 5 weeks, why can't the Prime Minister give a straight answer about the tape where he confirms a financial offer was made to Chuck Cadman? His Chief of Staff, Ian Brodie, was the party executive director at the time. John Reynolds was campaign co-chair. Can the Prime Minister categorically deny that either of them were involved in the financial offer Donna Cadman says the Conservatives made to her husband?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Order. The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Public Works and Government Services. Order.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. First, I'd like to congratulate the new member for Vancouver Quadro on her election to this House. She's replacing Stephen Owen, who is a great member of Parliament, and I know that she'll do her best to continue his legacy as a great member of Parliament. To the question, Mr. Speaker, the truth is that nothing has changed in this file. We have made the facts of this case very clear, Mr. Speaker. There was no financial offer made to Chuck Cadman. There was no offer of $1 million life insurance policy. All that was offered was that he return to our caucus, present himself as a Conservative candidate, and get re-elected as a Conservative member of Parliament. That's all that was offered, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Honourable Member for Vancouver Quadra.
And a libel trial to avoid being accountable for his own role in this sordid affair. My constituents want to know why Conservatives are unable to categorically deny outside the House that financial assistance was offered to Mr. Cadman. Can the Prime Minister confirm whether anyone in his government or his party has been contacted by the RCMP regarding this issue?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Public Works and Government Services.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As we've said a number of times, there was, in fact, no financial offer made to Chuck Chapman. The Liberals have said that the Prime Minister, in fact, was involved in a crime, and the Liberals suggest that this is some kind of a libel chill. This is not true. The Prime Minister has every right to defend himself from false criminal accusations by the Liberals in the House of Commons and outside the House of Commons. He's availing himself of the right to protect himself. Mr. Speaker, we've been clear and consistent on this issue, and we've been straightforward. There was, in fact, no financial offer made to Chuck Chapman. The offer that was made was the one that I described, and I hope my new colleague from Vancouver Quadro will recognize that her constituents expect her to come to the House of Commons and talk about real issues and not smear people with false accusations.
Honourable member for